On this episode of Ghost Hunters International, the team travels to Tuscany to dig up the skeletons in a 700-year-old case of murder and seduction.
She was bricked up alive and left for dead.
Exactly.
Have they stirred up the rage of a betrayed spirit?
I totally just saw a face. Can you come closer?
Then, GHI searches for the ghost of a tortured Italian patriot in the prison tower of the Palazzo Ducale.
Is it true that you were murdered in this palace?
But will the mad violinist next door play the team a different tune?
Whoa.
So loud.
Dustin, a lot of your family's from Italy, correct?
Yeah, man, a lot of Italian heritage, so it's always nice to be here to kind of look a little more into my roots.
I always figured Pisa was like a major city, but it's actually kind of like a small town here.
Yeah, it's kind of like nestled in the middle of the valley here.
Yeah. Coming up on our right, Leaning Tower of Pisa. Well, check that one off. We hit the Eiffel Tower, Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah, cool.
We've been around. All right, everyone, welcome to FOSDINOVO, Italy. Randy's going to let us know about the case, and it is a pretty large one.
Hey, we're headed to Malaspina Castle. Now, this place was first constructed around the 11th century. There's stories that Dante has visited the castle as well as Mussolini, so this place has a lot of history to it. Now, in terms of activity, we're looking at black shadows, screams coming from a torture room, claims of dresser drawers opening and closing on their own.
Wow.
This place is really big. We're actually going to be staying there in the different haunted rooms, so we'll be able to investigate all night. It should be a great time. Hopefully we find something.
After 20 minutes of winding road, we made it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get inside, see what's going on.
Sweet, let's rock.
Pietro?
Hi, hello.
Rob, how are you?
I'm Peter. I'm fine. Hi, nice to meet you.
Dustin,
Hi.
nice to meet you.
Hi,
Bye.
Peter.
Well, sir, this is quite a castle. This thing is
It's quite a
huge.
castle, yes, yes.
And it's been in your family quite some time, we understand?
Yes, it was bought first by Spinetta Malaspina in the 1340s, and since that date, it belongs to my family.
Well, if you could show us around, show
Yes,
us where
please.
the activity has been reported.
Okay,
All right,
thank
we'll
you.
follow you.
Okay. Here we are in the largest prison of the castle, and this became famous because the legend says this young lady called Bianca Maria Luisa, she fell in love with this guy that kept the animals, you know. The father, he could not permit these things, so decided to bury her here in this prison, in this castle.
So she was bricked up alive and left for dead.
Exactly. When we start to restore this building, we discover some bones, and we discover that they belongs to Bianca Maria Luisa. That is exactly what the legend says.
Whereabouts in this room were the remains found?
They were in that corner over there.
And in terms of activity, anything odd ever happened in this room?
Really a lot of different strange and weird things. You know, visions, and then shadows, and then people saw this lady with the long hair, really tiny. So for sure was a lady, and for sure was a young girl.
All right, shall we head on?
Yeah, please.
Follow you?
Follow me, yes. In this room it has something really weird to my father and my mother. They were sleeping with the door closed, and suddenly they hear a big room noise of an opening drawer, like tum, like this. And then they hear like someone knocking on the door. So they wake up and they found the drawer open, and they goes to the door, but it was locked, so there was no one here but my father and my mother.
Well, definitely I'd like to follow up on the reports. If it's all right with you, I'll stay the night here.
Of course,
Terrific.
you're my guest. So this is the Marquis room, one of the most famous, because there is a legend here that says that in this room, Cristina Pallavicino used to have her lovers, used to make love with them, and then he used to throw the man here about this trap.
So Pietro, what's beneath this room now? I mean, is there some type of dungeon area where these people would have landed?
Yes, there are the little stairs that goes down in this dungeon, and that room is called the torture room.
I slept there a few times in the tower, and every night, in the middle of the night, I feel like strange, because I feel like something bit on my breast, like.
So this is the main courtyard. Here it really happened something strange for one guy of the village.
I was in the courtyard with some friends for a dinner party. A figure of a young lady appeared in the window and we all saw her. Then she disappeared, but then suddenly reappeared over there above the arches in the other two windows. She was behind the glass, and then she started to run away.
Well, gentlemen, it looks like we got a couple bedrooms up there, so
Yeah.
you up for standing watch?
Yeah, I'll take the one on the right side there. I think I'll take the one over to that side.
This is it. We did all the trip of the castle.
Thank you again for having us, and time for us to get to work.
Thank you.
Pietro, he's had so many stories within his family, from his brother, his father, his mother, that he's invited GHI to come in and once and for all decide whether it's paranormal or there's alternative explanations.
All right, Barry, what do we got?
Camera number 1 is the low-lux camera, positioned in the corridor where the image of this female is said to walk by the windows. Camera number 2 is in position where the shadow is said to appear. Camera number 3 is in the hallway right behind the main hall, and camera number 4 is in the main hall.
All right, let's grab equipment and get to work. This isn't just museum props. They use this stuff in this room here.
They'd actually put their face, like, look, it's got a place for their nose.
EVP session. This is Ashley and Rob in the torture chamber. What we would like to know is if there is someone here with us, were you the one being tortured or the one doing the torture? Now, you've got some devices in here. Ashley?
Yeah.
There was some kind of voice, some kind of noise.
Definitely wasn't me.
There was a sound coming from the chamber I was in. It's kind of hard to determine if it was a voice, but there was definitively a sound. Do you want us here in this castle? Certainly something going on around here. Ashley, come in here. Ashley, there was some kind of voice, some kind of noise. Ashley, come in here.
What did you see?
I didn't see anything, but I sure heard something. Ashley and I came into the torture chamber. As we started getting into an EVP session, there was a sound. If you want to communicate, if you want to talk, we need to be able to hear you. But it's got to be in here.
What the hell? That was like a bang over here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I asked you to make a noise in here. You made a noise in here. So are we ready to talk now? If you want me to leave this castle, give me a sound in this room.
That was a toot-toot. That was 2.
We kept asking for sounds, responses, and we were getting them. We checked out the area that was coming from. This isn't wood settling, it's all stone. So what I'm really hoping for is we had a couple things recording audio and video in there. I'd like to see if maybe we have some voices or even images.
EVP session, Dustin and Brandy, the dungeon.
Bianca, if you're here with us, we'd like to speak with you. Brandy and I were investigating down in the dungeon area.
We were asking EVP questions of Bianca, who's a young girl, fallen in love with a stable boy, but because of the difference between their class, they were not allowed to be together, and her parents walled her up, and her remains were actually found down here. We just want to simply show people that you are still here, that your love was that strong that you never let go.
What they did to you was wrong. Bianca, are you now together with the man that you fell in love with?
And just before your question, Brandy, there was a sound back there.
Was there?
Yeah, just before you spoke. It didn't sound like a voice or anything, just some type of sound.
Can you make a noise to signify that you do understand?
All right, Grady, wrap it up.
Okay.
EVP session, Rob and Barry in Dustin's room.
We believe that there was a series of people who were stationed here during World War II. If any of those soldiers remain, can they come forward and give us a sign that they're here?
Curious which army you were with. Did you serve with the Germans or the Italians?
I just thought I seen a beam of light that's come down there. What did you see?
Some lights over there. Over by that door.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing as well, but then I thought to myself, maybe it's just my eyes. There was a very weak beam of light that passed down from the ceiling to the floor. And then I started to see other lights started to flash over toward the door, which led into my room.
I'll see where this light's coming from.
So Rob and I then moved to my room and conducted another EVP session.
We need you to make the effort to communicate. Could you perhaps show us another light?
Are you trapped coming through this door?
There's nothing over here. You can open that door. I don't feel it.
Neither do I.
A draft comes through the door. All the windows and doors are shut in Dustin's room, and it's incredibly hot. So to have this kind of breeze, this cool breeze coming through the door is strange. EVP session, Dustin's room. And